I'm Neha Rathi and I'll be presenting today to you exploring the food and nutrition landscape in private Indian secondary schools, a qualitative study. This study was conducted as part of my PhD work at Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. As Sir said, I will not give much time to the background, but still, just to give, strong basis for my aim, a quick run through this. So, the rapid emergence of the new Indian society. Number one, there has been the traditional joint family system being replaced by the nuclear family. Second, India has seen increased female participation in workforce, which has led to devaluation of cooking at home. And then this has again subsequently led to home-cooked foods replaced by convenience processed foods. Third, there has been rise of consumerism, that is, growth in the consumption of both food and non-food commodities. And the most important, particularly for this part of my study, increase in sales of fast food by 35 to 40% in 2010. And mind you, all these societal changes have occurred over the last 2 decades. One of the biggest consequences of these societal changes is the rapid increase in overweight and obesity and the associated non-communicable diseases. One of the best possible solutions, or maybe one of the feasible solutions of dealing with this emerging health burden is school-based nutrition and health promotion. And therefore, I decided to do this study. That is, to explore the status. Is it okay? Yeah. To explore the status of food and nutrition curriculum and the school food environment and policies in Indian private secondary schools through the perceptions of different stakeholders. You must be pondering, why just Indian private secondary schools? Indian private secondary schools, reason being, the prevalence of overweight and obesity is higher among private school children in India as compared to public school children. Moving on to methodology, snowball sampling technique was used to make contact with principals of 10 different private secondary schools in Kolkata, India. Being a qualitative study, we were more interested to go into the depth, so therefore the representativeness of the sample was not so important as this part of the study is concerned. And I conducted this study in Kolkata, it's one of the eastern metropolitan cities in India. At start, we decided that we'll be recruiting 15 participants from each stakeholder group. When I say each stakeholder groups, let me tell you, first one is adolescents studying in year 9, that's class 9. Second group was nutrition educators, that is biology and home science teachers, because these are the 2 subjects which covers nutrition in Indian schools. Third, we had parents of adolescents, and finally we had school principals. Now about the procedure, semi-structured face-to-face interviews were used to which was used to do the interviews, and this was helpful guided by the open-ended questions. I'll be sharing with you some of the open-ended questions, but before I move on to that, I will explain to you data saturation. If you're aware of qualitative studies, this is the point when it's in the interview, when you stop your recruiting participants, when no new themes emerge during the interviews. So that's the time you stop recruiting the participants. So if I see that at the 11th one, no new themes were emerging in my interview, I stopped it. Moving on to some of the questions, I just rush through them because we have limited time. So one of the questions for the adolescents was, what do you like about your food and nutrition classes? Next, it's one of our parents. Do you want the schools to teach food skills to your son or daughter? Another question for teachers. Describe the resources you have for teaching food and nutrition. And finally, one for principals. Can you tell me about your school's food and nutrition curriculum? Moving on to data analysis. So there were actually 52 interviews conducted. All were digitally recorded except one where the principal denied to be audio recorded, so notes were taken. Key themes were established using the NVO 10 software program. Finally, inter-rater reliability was checked by 2 home economists and 2 nutritionists. Results. So first the sample, as I told you, 52 participants, which included 15 adolescents, that is 10 girls, 5 boys, 15 parents, 14 mothers, 1 father, 12 teachers, all were females, and 10 school principals, included 9 females and 1 male. So first the key themes related to food and nutrition curriculum. First one, teachers' importance of healthy eating. Textbooks lack clarity. So one of the quotes I would like to share, through nutrition lessons, we come to know what is good for us. That's a positive thing. Another theme, a repetitive and a limited curriculum. Next, low number of practical assignments. Finally, the curriculum is undermined by the school food environment. A very important quote here, it is taught that we are not supposed to have junk food, but junk food is actually served in a school canteen. Quite a clear piece of contradiction. Probably we need to see how to modify the curriculum so that it complements the school food services. I've already been shown the clue card, that it's only 1 minute left, so just browse to the food skills. Again, food skills are necessary living skills. There are limited time constraints, and lack of interest limit the practice of these skills, and food skills are unfortunately not discussed in the present Indian school curriculum. Finally, to the school food environment, wide range of unhealthy foods available. Poor hygiene is a concern, when we talked in the morning about sanitation. Some parents had to complain, expensive canteen food. And a very striking important thing in private secondary Indian schools, absence of canteen policies. So if policy makers sitting in the room, we need to think about it. Finally, if we see this overall, I'll not go through one by one. So the main message from this study is Indian schools are not so well equipped in fighting overweight and obesity. Probably policymakers, we need to sit down and make a skill-focused food and nutrition curriculum that is supported by healthy school food policies. In case I have rushed and you want to know more about this, you can go through three of my articles, one in Appetite, Health Promotion International, and Health Education. Thank you.
Thank you.